Good afternoon, my name is Amazing Katamanda. Welcome to the Midday News and the headlines. Government blames PF over misfortunes in agriculture sector. 3 people apprehended for stealing billboard materials in broad daylight.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we will be able to launch the
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the news in detail. Patients at Kalingalinga Clinic and Chongwe District Hospital have urged the United Party for National Development UPND administration to prioritize the provision of medicines in healthy facilities. In interviews with Camnet TV News, the patients have wondered why 58 years after independence, patients should continue walking away with prescriptions after medicines which some cannot even afford to buy. They have centered recent reports such as the Auditor General and the Financial Intelligence Center reports which indicate that the country has been losing millions to corruption while ordinary citizens are struggling to access medicines in hospitals.
Improving health care lies at the core center of every country as one way of ensuring sustainable development by bringing up a healthy and productive population. While Zambia has made significant strides in some areas towards Vision 2030 of ensuring good health and well-being for all, the lack of medicine in public hospitals still remains a plague across the country for many years now. When visiting a public hospital, it is not uncommon to be sent home with a prescription requiring that one should buy the medicine, which has become a concern, especially with the current poverty levels which stand at over 50% of the population, according to the World Bank. A check at some health facilities around the country, namely Kalingalinga Clinic and Chongwe District Hospital, found that this is still the situation.
Kulibe bantu wakabwera ku hospital penangu nukubalembera pepa kuti
nenzena dwalapo kutinga potunda paja kuchosa mitundo zizochoka ready kuti zili mixed na blood so mine naenda clinic kupimisa nanuza to matenda ya dwala ni aso but naenda kuja mkwala sina pesa ati ziliko nango nembera chabda tiwende ugule mkwala and mkwala wenze too much very expensive so that yakutero kuti nkokwani sandrama sina kwanise kugula buno bwino so tenza pepa ku government kuti mkwala mstita ndizirako kutsakira ma clinics zinkara mo zonse zokwana because matenda ena ngo muntu ungafe ngati drama za kuvutako so government mstandi zileko naenda natengako minkwala ya msanga but no sinina ashua kutika pena vinapola kwa ziva msanga kai sunga pime sivina pite club kuti uzirotuka mwapaso uzapola urusuna pola so mwena mwena ivonde mwena sira nazo utika pena napola ulokwani pachi mtundo sisi blood patient wacho utari sagira tandizo nubwera kunaba kutumiza kwina matkabule mkwala ni change ili pati manja hapo kuna change oneki kulingana mwita tujira government mkwala ziando peze kabisa
nzinaenda kuchongwe clinic kuja napeza kulibe mankwala banza direct ngwe pachongwe hospital then kuno napeza ko ya mozi mankwala enangu banuza kuti nikagule so simiziba tandizo government kuti ni abwanji mamene wanga titandizile ko si wonse ne bamapisikana drama kuti bakazigula mankwala then ise munga ise tabena ngutsewana wamasiye then tizambo chitabwanji so temporary government utitulanganeko pa mankwala.
Reports such as the Auditor General and the Financial Intelligence Center, on the other hand, have been indicating that millions of public funds were pocketed at the expense of the well-being of citizens. In February 2021, there was a discovery of expired medicine that had not been distributed to hospitals by the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA, despite health facilities lacking medicine. The citizens have called for all the gaps to be quickly closed in order to restore sanity to the health sector and prevent unwarranted deaths. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Police in Lusaka have apprehended 3 unknown people suspected to be behind the theft of the billboard materials in Lusaka's Kablonga township. The suspects were caught in the act by members of the general public, and their attempts to flee the crime scene failed. The incident happened Sunday, 27 February 2022 at the premises of Hilltop Hospital in the afternoon. The suspects pretended to own the billboards and were in the process of decommissioning it, but the mission was unsuccessful.
On Sunday, a day when most Christians go to worship or relax at home in anticipation of Monday, well, these people opted to take advantage of the seemingly lack of security to engage in some dubious activities. But luck was not in their favor. In the onset of the rainy season, the country witnessed the falling of billboards due to heavy rains, but now there comes a trend of stealing billboards whose materials, especially iron, fetches at a good price on the market. This is Lusaka Central Constituency in Kablonga Township at Hilltop Hospital, where the suspects opted to steal billboards belonging to A1 in broad daylight, pretending to own the billboards. Alert members of the general public at Hilltop Hospital and passers-by observed the suspicious behavior that was portrayed by the suspects. But the owners were alerted of the incident and rushed to the scene to interrogate the fake owners.
I never said that I don't. I said that they said they work for them. So how do I know it? You see that? I haven't done it. Because the stuff doesn't know.
One of them was the driver. The driver narrated that he was only hired for a service to deliver a consignment to someone who wanted to buy steel. The owner of the counter, where is it? It's here. The third suspect, who had attempted to flee the crime scene after sensing danger, landed in the arms of the private security officers. While we were at the scene of the incident, police apprehended the 3 suspects who, according to information availed to us, they were taken to Woodlands Police Station. But by broadcast time, police had not yet responded to a query concerning the matter. However, such incidents must be put to a halt by improving monitoring by law enforcement agencies and local authorities before the situation worsens. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Minister of Agriculture Mtoro Piri has blamed the previous administration for the misfortunes being witnessed in the agricultural sector. Mr. Piri has explained that all the 6 supplies of farming inputs under the Farmers Input Program, FISEP, were contacted by the PF and that they just inherited the problem. He regretted that the Naira investment has let down the government and the farmers in Eastern Province by allegedly failing to deliver the inputs on time. Nyemba, Petauke and Chipangali are among the affected districts in Eastern Province. The minister says the United Party for National Development government is doing everything possible to overcome the problem allegedly caused by the PF.
The 2021-2022 farming season has not been in favor of some farmers in Eastern Province due to the delayed supply of some farming inputs. Among those affected are farmers under the Farmers Input Support Program in Chipangali district of Eastern Province, having planted their seeds with the hope that they were going to receive fertilizer on time.
Matandoro yano ya Mveka. Naise nisema Zambia zimene muliri mazambia nzisimame. Aha. So manje nichakuti ino ya mene wiki kufikira pa Thursday. Katundu muzamba kuiona kuchipangali.
Assurances could not come to pass, and we spoke to Minister of Agriculture Mtoro Piri, who explained that Neria Investment, the company mandated to supply fertilizer in the area, has been engaged on several occasions.
I had also time to look at maize in some of these areas. In some of the areas, the maize is sometimes even less than knee-high, meaning that farmers could still apply the fertilizers. We have another window of maybe 2 weeks or so which they could use. So within this period, we shall up our game to talk to them and see what they can do. But overall, the overall position is that the situation which Neria has put us in is absolutely unfortunate and a very big disruption to the government program. That is undoubtedly the case and irrefutably the case, which is most unfortunate. Probably they could have been given a very huge quantity to supply, and it gave them problems. To supply 135,000 metric tons is quite a task. That's quite a job. That is huge tonnage. And going forward, we don't see ourselves ever giving one particular company that type of tonnage.
Mr. Piri has however blamed the previous administration for the misfortunes witnessed in the agriculture sector, saying that all the 6 suppliers under the FISI program were contracted by the Patriotic Front PF government and that they just inherited the problem.
Now, as much as it is absolutely undesirable on my part to do, but it is important for the public to know that what we are solving is a problem which we found. It would be wrong for us to be, labored with this issue, and sometimes as I move in the districts, I do receive some very negative, talk against us. That this is not what you promised. People are interested in fertilizers, but the truth is, this is a doing of the PF government. They are the ones who contracted these 6 suppliers. We have not contracted any supplier. We have just been dealing with the 6 suppliers that we found.
The minister says the United Party for National Development government is doing everything possible to overcome the problem caused by the PF.
And, when you take over power, you take over assets and abilities. You take over good and bad. And for me, in the ministry, this is just unfortunate because we're taking over a very, very painful, situation. Very, very painful because it is affecting people's lives. You see the farmers, you see the sorrow on their face, you see the anguish on their face. It's absolutely, hurting for people to go through what they're going through.
Well, they say delaying the farming imports is tantamount to preparing for a poor harvest. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Residents of Lusaka's Kamanga Foxdale have complained that they have had no water since July 2021. The residents who spoke to Camnet TV News Sunday lamented that they have been moving long distances to access water and those who have the commodity are charging them. They have since called on the area Member of Parliament, who is also the Minister of Water and Sanitation Development, Mike Omposha, to come to their aid as promised during the campaigns prior to the August 12 general elections.
These water taps in Lusaka's Kamanga Foxdale area of Munali constituency have had no drop of water since July of 2021. This has been forcing residents of the area to move several kilometers in search of the very important commodity which they have been deprived of. The residents who spoke to Camnet News now wants the area Member of Parliament, who is also Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Mike Omposha, to keep his campaign promise of bringing water to the area.
No water for the past 7 months. We need our honorable MOP, Mike Omposha, to come and visit us. Why going in the provinces when he can't solve his own problem? The English says charity begins at home. Honorable Omposha, we want you to solve our problem before we start touring the whole Zambia. For other information, like in my case, I've even bought a wheelbarrow and some drums.
By water for almost 6 months, water doesn't come to our taps. What we normally do is we just get the guys to go and fetch for water for us. That side down, we pay for the guys. If he fetches like 6 buckets or 7, we give him like 10 kwacha, 12 kwacha. So I'm appealing to our MP to come to our area here, to come and visit us, to see the problem we're facing of water.
The residents have also complained that despite the area not receiving water for 7 months, water bills have continued to be issued by the Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company, adding that they have been paying bills for the water they do not have.
We are receiving bills every month, and those bills we are paying. We have records here, we have paid those bills. We don't own the Lusaka Water and Sewerage any money. We are paying bills, but we have no water. We are fetching water from far places, and we are paying for that water, which means we are paying twice. Come to our aid. We can't be paying for water which we don't see. Our taps are dry. Complained to the councillor, we have made calls to the councillor, nothing is happening. So we are tired, we need an assistance from the MP himself. We voted in the New Dawn government. Mr. Mposha is the MP for this area.
Water is a very important commodity which should be readily available and accessible to the people of Zambia if the country is to win the fight against diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
This brings us to the end of our midday news, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Government blames PF over misfortunes in agriculture sector. 3 people apprehended for stealing billboards, meters in broad daylight. Thank you for joining us on the midday news. This has been Amazing Katamanda. Good afternoon.